Okay, so today for something completely different, I'm going to be playing as dinosaurs. Oh wait, I've done that pretty much every fucking episode of this entire goddamn series. But no, I'll try to combine them a little bit, which I think I might have already done a little, where I'm trying to do like almost a rainbow dinosaur thing, where I just get them all from different colors. So that's like my only criteria for the deck. Doesn't matter what color, doesn't matter what quality of cards, doesn't matter what synergy or meta or archetype or expansion. It's all historic, so it could be anything in the history of this game at least. And when I say that, I don't mean like obviously I wish it was like that, anything in the history of the game, like period, because this game only has X number of cards from the actual game. But please be green so we can do a trifecta. We have to do black or blue. No, I'll try to combine like dinosaurs of every single color, but more than likely I won't have too many. And I finally have enough for like an extra 10k draft within the same expansion, but I probably won't actually even do it, because what I'll end up doing is probably just I'll probably save it for the beginning of next expansion, which I forget even when that is, or it'll tell you right there like somewhere where this season ends. Purchase 10 more. This is something I always forget to do. I never buy packs. Or wait a second, is that I'm saying like, oh, I don't know what the packs, I don't know when the next expansion comes out, but what the fuck, this cannot be played. Wait, what is this then even? Cons of Tarkir, where did this come from? Aren't we in the dinosaur thing? Did I maybe click it or something? Lost Caverns, what the fuck is this one? Where am I looking at it? Like, is this the next one that's going to be coming out, or it should tell you a little information about it. I don't know what the fuck it is. This cannot be played in the current standard of alchemy. Then what the fuck is it for? I don't understand. But whatever. I normally don't buy packs, so I don't benefit from whatever bonuses you get. I assume that would be the next expansion, so you're just kind of buying it ahead of time. I would totally buy this for like any amount of gems or gold, even though it's just a generic stupid thing. But I literally can't buy it because, you know, it's only money, and this is 100% free to play playthrough. So I don't know why I'm such a sucker for cosmetics in a game that doesn't even have the greatest ones, and it certainly doesn't have this sort of production. That's one thing I'll say about Hearthstone. Like, sure, I'm a fan of Hearthstone, but you can say this game is better than Hearthstone if you want, and I have no problem with that. I've even sort of indicated it at times, right? So that's me being objective. But the one thing that I'll say for sure is the production value of the Hearthstone heroes and the different interactions and emotes and voice acting and storylines and visuals to them is absolutely, there's no other card game that even comes close to that. Like, what is a game that even attempts to do it? This game doesn't, because it doesn't have voice acting. Like, you got like 100 versions of Sylvanas and Rexar and all these kind of things going on. It's like insane the amount of work they put into that, to a point where it's almost stupid. But companion, you know what I really want? I don't want that, but I want like a dinosaur pet, just to show my love of dinosaurs. This is kind of stupid. Why would I spend? If I had enough gems, I might do it, but no. I'll keep my gold total where it is, so going into next expansion, I could do that. I assume that's what it is, but I'm very confused how they're putting this here. Like, I don't get it. We're not in that expansion yet, right? We couldn't be. Unless I'm just that unaware and oblivious. Yeah. 28 days left, so why the fuck are they showing those things now? Maybe they always do that, and I just don't know because I never look at it. The one thing I would have liked to do here, which seems like it's going to be impossible, is to get to rank 35, to be able to get the orbs, to be able to get the red guy here. But somehow I was able to do that for the Tim Burton card back, the one that I'm currently using now. But I don't know how, because I didn't play that much that month at all, or those months, right? Like, I played even less than I'm doing now, so I don't get it. Something just happened in the middle of it where it just gave me a ton of... Like, I was at like rank 20 and I only had like a week left, and between that week and the last week it gave me like a ton. It got me to like rank 27 for doing nothing, just for logging in. So there was something weird going on with that. What other kind of cosmetics did I get recently? You'd almost think this couldn't possibly be a free-to-play playthrough, because nobody would be such a big clown as to get this many cosmetics, so I must have cheated it. But apparently I'm just that much of a fucking idiot. So this one, obviously, I earned whatever, Frodo and Sam. It's kind of cool because each piece of it is going to show you like a benchmark of your experience. Like, oh, he must have played during Lord of the Rings because he got this, and he must have played during the other expansion because he got, the card back and this and that. And in a more meaningful level, if you got to like higher ranks or something, and it gave you something for that, like, oh, he got Mythic during that season, so therefore he got such and such reward. Why is that showing up if it's just trying to get you to buy stuff? When did I get that? I don't even remember. I guess I must have gotten it like last time or something on a whim. I'm getting kind of sick of this stupid pumpkin thing. I honestly don't even remember when I got that. Huh. And it does look pretty cool. There's some variety. I mean, I only have 3 of them. Oh, here's one. Here's one. Cave Raptor. But wait, I didn't see it on there. Huh? Companion of the month. Yeah, I totally want Cave Raptor, but oh, it's here, but it's way too fucking much. Are you serious, dude? 3,400. Holy shit, bro. What does that even equate to in gold? Man, you can't just give me the Raptor alone by itself? I guess I must have just missed it when I was looking through these normally. I want some sort of dinosaur pet just to show my love of dinosaurs. I don't even like the card back that much, but I guess we'll have to wait. Or I probably had the chance to do it earlier and I just didn't, and now I regret it. Let's see what other stupid cosmetics we have. We changed that one. I kind of want to change the avatar too, just I'm getting bored of this one. Even though a lot of these aren't... Nothing really... that is pretty sick though, actually. Your voice is a pretty tormenting creation too, except unfortunately we won't be able to ever hear it in the course of the game because that's just how this game works. I feel like I've said that probably too many times, but emotes, I don't even remember how you actually use these. Not in the sense of, wait, what are you even doing though? Like they're both just there. It's not like whatever. Yeah, think about how long it took me to get those. It's not like I bought any of them, but the emotes, but like you've only gotten 2 over the course of like a year of playing. Okay, this thing I think I got last time. It does look pretty cool. Whatever the lore significance and stuff I don't know is. This one I really don't want to change like ever, but maybe at some point I will. Like that's got to be one of the coolest cosmetics in the whole game. That's just badass. I don't know what the storyline or lore behind it or whatever it is, but Tim Burton called. He wants his card back. And what's so good about that is just, card back, but like card back. If you say it as like one word, because it's a card back. What other dinosaurs do we have here? I should almost just make it yeah, this isn't kind of what that is. So we could do a green only deck versus, because we always do like a round robin of the mixture. This one's black, but what kind of black is it? No, I guess I didn't do that. So our only criteria is going to be dinosaurs, just period. And I don't care what kind or anything. Let's do historic. I really don't remember where that guy came from. I don't think I did get him last time. The little, whatever, gargoyle type fucking statue pet we have. So, like, the whole point is we just have to do every kind of dinosaur, period. That'll be the rule. Or anything that mentions it. No, that's like the opposite of what we want. When it enters the battlefield, target reveals a card from their hand, choose an artifact, discards a card. It becomes a dinosaur, but I don't know, that seems like too much work. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may mill 2 cards. It looks badass, but it's whatever. It doesn't have to be that. There really weren't all that many exciting ones, though, in the context of this expansion. Maybe my expectation was just too high, but... So you might question how I'm going to be able to do this as far as lands, and that is an excellent question, but I guess the reasoning is I'll still basically do it through green and try to... You know what, so in that case, one of each is enough. We don't need to overdo it, but we'll still focus on green. And you would think that... Wait, I don't want that. You would think that anything besides a creature and a dinosaur is dinosaur gnome. It doesn't look small enough to be a gnome, though. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gains mana till end of turn. But no, you would think the majority of the ones I have are obviously with... This guy had some kind of really cool effect, I forget. Somebody was telling me you should craft him, which is obviously probably how I got him, I assume. Okay, now we want... Add 1 mana of any color is the whole point of it, but we'll also do that with the other... In fact, the whole point of this is we should have 4 of them, because that perfectly epitomizes what I'm trying to do here. Assuming they'll actually get to stick around, which surprisingly they actually do sometimes. Dinosaur. So yeah, we're emphasizing green, but the main reason why we're doing it is because you less cast if you control a dinosaur, put a +1/+1, they fight something. The reasoning behind it is the fact that you can do like the carotid and stuff too. So we're definitely going to have to do that. This guy I like, but I really just wish he was hexproof instead. That ward 2 just isn't good enough. I mean, some of these I can double if they're green. A little bit of bias, but I'm just not going to have enough room for all this shit, so I should almost just do one of each. Let's see how many more there are before I... This guy actually became one of my favorites. Just forget about even the toxic, just trample, ward, haste. Like, he's got so much shit going on for what is still a 7 mana 8/8. Like, I can't argue with that. This is kind of cool, but I feel like I don't get great value out of it all the time. Invasion of Ikoria is kind of okay. Dinosaur, that's not even a dinosaur, but I must mention it. Each creature card in your starting deck is a cat elemental. Oh, but this is like a companion mechanic, which I don't like to use that, or I don't even fully understand how to use that. Each creature... Okay, whatever. Wait, that's all I have. So that means there's none of them for... Fuck. All those different colors. There's none of them for the other colors. How is that possible? There's only black, red, white. There's no blue dinosaurs in the game? Or there are, but I just don't have them because they suck, probably. Or they'll... You know what? That's actually kind of thematic, though. It makes sense that they would have to do with flying. Well, at least some of them. You know, blue is associated with the water just as much as it can be associated with flying. Or I guess white is more so what you would think of for that. If there was a hexproof one, I would totally do it. Like ward, I don't mind doing that. 7 mana for a 6/7 with a ward 3. That looks pretty cool. Can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever a non-creature... I guess, you know, I gotta have one blue one just to be able to consider it truly rainbow, even though that's 5 colors instead of 7. There's not a single blue dinosaur in my whole collection. You know, never mind the fact that, okay, I wouldn't have crafted it because I just hate blue, but I wouldn't have crafted a white one either. I just happen to have it. Whenever opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. Discard 3 cards. Exile it. Return to the battlefield tapped under his owner's control. We'll do it just because he looks cool. I probably won't even get the chance to play him, though. Literally going by card quality the same way I would with cosmetics. Just like... Yeah, you know what? Let's just do one of each. Although that... Because I'm not only going to need land, but I'm going to need... Wait, what? Wait, why is it... No, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I'm in craft mode. That's fine. I need the carotid, and then I also need the land, because... Whatever. It was a very weird thing I'm doing here, but... Okay. We're gonna, even if we win, we'll win by like some sort of accidental loophole type of mechanic. Just somehow, you know, you fucking, whatever, you'll win with toxic or something, even though that has nothing to do with anything. So this guy is in there. So yeah, we literally have 0 blue ones and very few white ones in there. And let me see something. Won't be here for long. You've got stuff to go. Oh, that's fine. How's it going? Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find all the mana generating stuff, out of which we only are going to be able to put like 15 lands, I guess. Like, what are the ones that do 1 mana of any color? Basically, I'm thinking of the... Those are really the only ones I want. Like, even that technically doesn't count, but I guess for the cost, I can't complain. But the carotid is well worth the price, and then we're not even going to have rebuke either. We're going to have nothing in here. But I guess the point of this isn't a high quality deck in the first place. Where the fuck is it? The carotid, and then maybe the taxidermist gives you one of any color for 2 as well. Where is he at? This actually has such an amazing effect to it. It's a 2 mana 1/2, which is better than the carotid. Add 1 mana of any color, better than the carotid, or same as the carotid. Aside from the upside of having a 4 attack thing give you 2 mana of any color, but then it has the +2. Like, that is kind of an underrated card. Let's just do that, and then the rest I'll just put in the green land, of which, of course, I have to do one of each different picture because I'm so particular about that. You gotta spend fucking in-game resources on cosmetic lands and stuff too, which normally those you can only buy with gems or something, but probably a good thing. I shouldn't really waste my time doing that. So we'll alternate between these two. One dinosaur deck and another. I don't know what this one is actually. This might have been my attempt to fit some of these in there. Do some, or you know what, why don't we do that then? Although this will be even shittier than I expect, but I don't know what this is. 68. And that even has a degenerate companion mechanic. Oh, he can't hear. Hang on. Okay, what the fuck was this one even supposed to be is my big question. You got the lore keeper, you got this, you got some of the random things in there. Even this one, I guess this was more like just anything that mentions dinosaurs, period. Secluded courtyard. I don't know what some of these decks actually are. Let's do maybe those two, 25 and 28, just because whatever, they kind of have the hybrid element to them. We'll see which one does better in a best of 3. Let's actually do that one. Wait, wasn't it this one though? Now I'm actually confused. Wait, they both have, I'm kind of confused how they've done it. It was supposed to be 25 and 28, I think. Oh, look at that lag spike. Wait, now I have no idea what is what. It should be organized the same way in the collection as is there. Let me see. 25. Okay, here, I'll just name it like this so I know. This one is like a 68 card shit show of a deck that doesn't even make any fucking sense, with a companion degenerate mechanic in there too. I wonder why that play button is so slow today. Q1, Q. Why is it here though? I don't get it. I almost don't believe that that's the same one. Why is it appearing in such a different spot? Whatever. Yeah, you can already do that con something limited. That's so weird. I know they sometimes release it early, but I didn't know it was this early. Like a month before. The Deep Gods, something like an old god Cthulhu type thing, I bet. I've been calling them that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Inadvertently, like I keep calling them the old gods instead of just the god cards. Then of course they do have all these other, like the wicked gods and some other kind of alterations on them though too. I can't remember actually what the other ones are. This is good, but you kind of need something out there to actually make it worth your while, or you can always just use it as a blocking mechanism. I love how many of these games that I win though just on the raw value of whatever like arbitrary thing I choose to do. Like, you don't even have to do anything. Just by playing stuff on the board. I mean, it's a legitimate style of play. In fact, it's the only style of play that I really like at times in card games. Although I shouldn't say that. Like, I've played all kind of things over the years, but I always grow bored of Control at times because it can be so contrived and specific with the way certain things work that like you're trying to go for this one combo and one combo only. I like at least like an upper mid-range thing where like, yes, you might have a win condition, but if it doesn't work and everything goes, it's, you know, it's like in sports where they say somebody's clutch. That's what they mean when I don't really believe in the idea of being clutch, but like like when everything else breaks down, like, oh, you have the perfect play planned out and you have everything ready to go, but everything just breaks down and it doesn't work, then you still have a way to win and a fallback option. So that's what the upper mid-range means. You have a win condition, but you can win without it, and you can still kind of just figure things out because you have a certain amount of value to your cards and everything just kind of works out. So it doesn't mean that you rely on the win condition completely or that you have to drag the game out. You can win on the board, you can win in a variety of different ways. So that is actually good for him because it cucks my ability to use that. This guy is like my dream come true, perfect statting, even with the price that you pay for it. Even just to have it block, even just to have it trigger this guy. There's so many good things that it does for you. Beginning of upkeep, discard a card. Now I could just go face all the way. 3 mana 6/6. Compare that to a 4 mana 7/7. I guess 4 mana 7/7 still worse ratio wise. This is double, so it should be a 4 mana 8/8. You'll never beat the 5 mana 10/10 though, even by the dinosaur's own value. That was probably a waste, but let's just not give him any sort of life here and just completely wreck him. Now these best of threes can be kind of deceptive because you never know what you're gonna get when it comes to yeah, no sideboarding allowed. It's kind of like my Duel Links playthrough where I didn't use any character skills ever during that run just because it felt kind of unnecessary. I'll just use my real life skills. So it's the same thing here. I don't need to sideboard, although to this guy's credit, he didn't really seem to do it either with how quickly that was. Clearly he must be a bot. Those are the two things that you see on the Steam reviews for this game. Either that there's too many bots or that there's too many like there's too much fucking, what do you call it, there's too many microtransactions and things like that. The only thing I'll say is the fact that you can't disenchant cards is a mistake, which I kind of like that you can't do it because it prevents me from destroying my collection over and over. Because you know, you would do it and you would get like a 25% rebate on what you disenchanted. So like you disenchant a mythic card and you get like a whatever, you get like 1/4 of a mythic card value for it, which is what you get in Hearthstone and other card games and stuff like that. So it is kind of still worth it to do that, just to have the option to do it if it was something you're not going to use at all. But yeah, that's what people are probably mad about with this game, is the fact that, because it has like pretty negative reviews on Steam, and it kind of shocked me. Because I was even saying like, oh, it's so good and it's like better than Hearthstone. But I guess what I'm talking about is not so much this game itself specifically, but I'm talking about Magic overall, just as a game. So that's where it's kind of unfair. There's other versions of it, I'm sure. There's other ways to play it. You could play it in real life. So if you combine all that, then I'm just respecting, because this is my first and only experience with Magic ever so far, which I'm almost having the urge a little bit. Like, those are the two card game series that will go on pretty much forever for me. Hearthstone I do every Sunday, and that'll go on until the game goes offline. Right, I'm never going to stop that series. I'll play it in some form no matter what. Be back later? Okay. And then this game, Magic I'll play in some form, right, for a very long time. And then PvZ Heroes will actually end at some point, but I don't know when. Probably I'll be forced to stop playing it because it'll probably actually go offline. But no, this one, I could always switch this slot with something else. So if I'm satisfied with my arena experience, even though I put a lot of time and effort into the collection and stuff, I could always play Magic in a different form. Whether it be somehow, not even like some other digital version of the game, but there's like all these manual ones you can do. I can't remember the name of it, but it's where people told me to play like Warcraft TCG. You know, you can kind of just put the images of the cards in there, and it's like this fan-made, fan-run type of website where you can just kind of simulate playing a card game without needing all the interface and the fancy presentation and stuff. Thanks. Okay, we just beat that guy so badly the first game that his spirit just left him and he was salty for the next one. I thought he had a sense of honor with how quickly he sideboarded. So we won it with that one, so we'll let this one determine... Wait, how did I do a daily quest that fast? Oh no, I didn't. It was just from winning. Never mind. So we'll do a best of 3 with the other one, and then between those two, whichever one does better, we'll do best of 1 with that, I guess. Until we lose, and that should be the whole episode. But we'll never be able to play the black cards enough here, even though we do have a couple black dinosaurs in here. Yeah, green definitely has the most. Red has a couple. Black has some. White doesn't have too many, and blue, at least of what I have in my collection. But blue seems to have very few, which is even less reason to play blue than there would normally be. So what a perfect overlap. As if I wouldn't like green anyway, just for some of the ramp and other capabilities, but the insane statting of some of this stuff is just way too good. This is kind of a bad hand because you want some sort of mana generator in here. At least here we have 2 of them, so that makes it worth it. The problem is if they actually have removal for them, which most people actually don't ever do that. You have these little mana generating minions and they just let them sit there forever. But if we get both of these out there and we double them up, then you should be able to play pretty much anything in your deck, because that's 4 extra mana of any color, which is the most important thing. This dude's got some fucking ink thing going on, like he's that dude from Super Mario Sunshine, your doppelganger that keeps framing you for messing shit up. Or what was that weird class that I found so peculiar, like in Lost Ark, that, oh shit, I could have attacked there, that it was like an ink master type of class that had abilities like that. It's so random that you would base a whole class around that. You're like an artist or something. I can understand that being like a spec for somebody, or like you know, like a certain abilities that somebody has, but to base a whole class around that seems insane. Akira Toriyama in his retirement days after milking the Dragon Ball Z franchise into the fucking ground with the Dragon Ball Super. Okay, let's see. Which I haven't even seen, so maybe I shouldn't hate on it in any way, but okay, we need a 4 attack minion just to trigger these for the extra mana. We do have the ability to, maybe I should have done it there, to do effectively the rebuke type of thing. The problem with that is it still fights them. So that's worse than rebuke in that sense, because you get to, you'd actually have to trade in. And I don't even have rebuke in here at all, I don't think. You basically just play everything, so fuck it. Great artifact or enchantment, +1/+1 counters. Look at the library, something, doesn't matter. It's unfortunate because none of these... Oh no, I guess you could get rid of the... No, you can't though. Put a +1/+1 counter. Oh, we could do it like this. We could put a +1 on there. Wait. If... Put a +1/+1, then they fight one you don't control. Okay, so mine will survive. That is kind of an annoying card though because of that. Okay, that would be too easy to trade in, so I'll just leave it. But look what a boss turn that was, that we were able to just fucking play everything in our hand. So it turns into an aggro deck, even though it's not meant to be, because it's still the mid-range idea of like, whatever, we still have good value stuff if we just draw into it. Or cycling when it enters, create a 3/3. Not really sure why that would be considered a particularly good card. So let's just not give up the mana generating stuff. He could easily just trade into this though, so it's not like he's low enough. You know, it's okay because I guess we did replace that at least. There's nothing there's nothing you can really do because you have to keep sacking stuff. Like, I don't know, I have no other way to remove his shit, so him blocking is fine. And dinosaurs are like birds without wings, or they're like dragons without wings, in the sense that, you know, they just feel like misfits with that. Dragons with clipped wings. That's what's so fascinating about like stories of the past, where people talk about, oh, the Kraken or all these kind of things. What if the origin of those stories isn't just someone fantasizing or creating scary stories to control people or whatever, right? Just, you know, sort of flights of fancy. What if they discovered the fossil of like some octopus or whatever the fuck, and they couldn't explain it, so they said, oh yeah, that's the Kraken, or there's something out there like. It's menace, which means you just can't block it. You'd have to block it with two things. I mean, I should just go all in. I don't know what I have to lose. But yeah, like what if there's actually some basis to it? Like they discover a dinosaur fossil and then they say, oh, that's where dragons came from in the medieval times, right? That people would talk about. So the Kraken, the sailors, or the whatever, the horror of the seas that people are all afraid of, are actually real. They're giant octopuses that exist even today at the bottom of the ocean somewhere. So it's like there was always like a real world basis to it. I don't know if that makes it like more scary or less scary, that like people didn't just make this shit up. It was actually true all along, and people aren't that inventive. Everything is based on something. So
the gods bless us in our righteous cause.
You know, I'm gonna end up losing. They're flooding the board way too much. These boards should really have limits to them as far as how many creatures you can summon. This truly is such a free-form kind of game. You can have as many minions as you want. You can have almost as many fucking cards in your deck as you want, or at least such a wide range. You can have like, you know, what else? Like as many minions as you want on the board. You can have something else. I can't remember. But yeah, you can just kind of do so many things, which would certainly mix up the meta and things like that, right? Even as stale as you might think it is, which it probably is at the higher level, sure, but most games don't even allow that much distinction, because it's always going to be vigilance, trample, haste. Is that going to, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from top of your library, put any number of dinosaurs onto the battlefield, rest the bottom. Okay. And the fact that he has trample too is going to be pretty good, right? Because he's going to be almost guaranteed to get a little bit of that damage through. I'm not even doing the math properly. He could probably just block everything and kill me, but the trample will be there. But no, I mean, he'll kill me. But see, that is cool. I was able to play whatever I wanted in terms of the colors and the different weird rainbow shit, just because I always had something out there. I had one man of any color, huh? What? No way. I mean, I said he was gonna win, but I didn't realize it would be that fucking precise. And he so strategically, beautifully blocked that guy that would have given me more dinosaurs out there. Damn it. Okay, we still get another chance. Yeah, I'm not even a salty type of player, like where I get mad when somebody, that was like a cool win. That was so close, so clutch. Like I probably could have done something a little better, but could you just do it quickly? At least I'm giving this guy props and everything. But no, I still get another chance. Like that game that ended Whizbang's streak in Hearthstone. Sure, I was mad about it, and that ruined the whole New Year celebration thing I was doing with it. But it's the fact that that last game that we actually lost was so epic that it felt like actually a Legend caliber matchup or some crazy shit. That Warlock. At least if it's a good, epic, intense kind of game. I don't mind being a minor Yu-Gi-Oh antagonist that loses to you know, the Pharaoh or something in some epic matchup that comes down to the wire in some crazy comeback, because at the very least, it's a case where oh my fucking god, dude. It's a case where it would at least have to be suitably epic for that purpose. I'm gonna try to keep Galt if I can, but I don't know if I can. Or I shouldn't. Well, I can't do shit. I just have to keep the mana generators and hope that that'll be good enough for me. See, we've already lost this one pretty much in the mulligan, and it wasn't my fault at all. My fault for making such a shitty deck, but I mean, look at his, dude. Look at the size of it. We already have the colors under control, and you know, you might think, oh, it only applies to dinosaurs, but that's really all I have in this deck. Or I guess I could expand that. That's all I have, period. Like in any deck ever, because that's just all I like. And what's funny is, yeah, none of the newer ones, even with all the power creep and stuff, really have any sense of matching up to the older values of some of these. Like Gigantosaurus is just unbeatable, man. Nobody is better than 5 mana 10/10. Wait, why is that like a Windows fucking screensaver? Wait, what is that? They made this in like fucking clip art, but they screenshotted it, but they forgot to get rid of that. What kind of garbage is this? Some sort of weird ass pixel art. This I can't do anything with. You could actually do that. It actually looks kind of nice still, but we need a game with this quality of graphics where you get to roam around in an open world in the Magic the Gathering universe. If I had money and I was like a producer for you'd have to have big money for this, but like if I was a producer of games, I would make that shit happen. I would make like an MMO for Magic the Gathering with all the lore, even all of its borrowed, stolen lore, I guess, like Lord of the Rings expansion and whatever other random shit they do. Still, somehow, whatever inherent lore there is, I would try to make a thing out of it and milk it for all it's worth, just like every other universe does. But usually what's ironic about that is, yes, of course, the forest that you need a spaceship to get to. What the fuck kind of forest is that? It's like analogizing the whole planet as a forest, almost. But no, it's like, normally you'll have a successful game like Skyrim or World of Warcraft, and then you'll make a card game out of it, like Warcraft TCG or Hearthstone or Elder Scrolls Legends and stuff like that. But in this case, you have such a successful card game that then you want to make other games out of the card game itself. But normally it's secondary, where you're kind of just milking a franchise for all it's worth the other way. So that would at least be a very worthwhile thing. They didn't have like a Diablo style game they were gonna do, and then it just never happened. So I forget the name of that, but so come on, dude. The biggest problem with these daily quests is I'm not gonna be able to play the black cards because there's just not enough of them in here. I mean, I could win by technicality of him AFKing, but he's clearly got a whole theme to his deck that is going to be hard to overcome, even though I did get him to 1 HP there. I just love these fucking random size decks that people come up with. I want to see that in the meta, like I'm playing for Mythic for my first time ever, and I see like literal 162 card deck versus 188 card deck, but oh no, that's perfectly within a meta matchup. That's not surprising at all, because people have calculated all the odds and that's what they've decided are the two best decks. Yeah, please just stay AFK then. You won't even be able to tell, right? Because it's not like Hearthstone where the rope continues into the next turn if you were on the rope the last turn. That's actually kind of a good feature to show, like, if you roped all the way last turn and it ran out and ended your turn, then it knows you're still AFK from before. So at least if you did something in between there, it would cancel it. But now we don't know, because I don't think this game does that, so you'd have to wait again. And then at some point you just lose if you do that. Now imagine we win this one and then we lose the next one out of the best of 3 just because he comes back. I really don't remember ever getting this guy, actually. Yeah, I would spend that 3,400 gems on the fucking dinosaur thing. I'm sure you could have gotten cheaper before. Okay, now you should win me the whole best of 3. Because he AFK'd out. I actually think it might do that too. But that's kind of lame. He should get another chance. Oh, what the fuck. So here the green is okay. So we won both of them then, didn't I? I forget in exactly what number of game. Wait, did I? I don't even remember what happened. Whatever, let's just do best of ones and see which one wins the most. Winning so handily that I can't even keep track of it. Legion of Dusk is a military arm of something. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this game actually, is the best of 3 format, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but not enough games really have that. Even chess should have that. Like, you know, you play online, but you can play in a best of 3, so you guarantee that you get to play as black and white both. Or whatever, like, make it like a set of matches, basically. Would that work? So, like, if we play a best of 3, I play as white the first game, then you play as white, and then I play as white again, though. So it would still be unfair, because one player would get it twice. It would have to be like a best of 5, or I don't know. Or the way they do it in the World Championship is obviously like a best of whatever. They get like 12, 13 games, and you can fuck around and do the rapid time controls and tie breaks and nonsense like that. So every game is a draw, and then they turn chess into a real-time game where it comes down to speed, who can move the wooden pieces faster on the board, and that's unironically what it comes down to, because otherwise they're too good to lose. And I love how people use that as a defense, like, well, of course it's a draw the majority of the time because they're just too good, but that's not what being good at a game normally means, right? If you're really good at basketball, the majority of your games don't end in draws against the best people. They will end in wins, or whatever, any other game in existence. Being good at a game doesn't result in drawing. What does this guy do again? Enters the battlefield, exiles card until they exile an online card. You may cast any number of them without paying their mana cost. Select a card, cast any number of spells, sure. Fake your own death, I don't remember that. But you could just trade into that. What is this thing even again? Trample, when you summon it, put a trample counter. So much shit going on, I can't even keep track of it. This is like one of those power creep type of cards that I wouldn't have normally probably made. Or, you know, I wouldn't have made it just because it's red. If it was green, I wouldn't have any problem with it at all. Yeah, some of these effects are just busted. Like, it doesn't matter even whether you win or lose the game or anything like that. It's just like, that's a fucking insane effect. Just like the Galta, the newest Galta. It always comes down to that more so than anything else. Now, what is his other ability? Transform it, activate only a sorcery. When it deals combination to a player, they get that many poison counters. Okay. Whatever, just do it. You have enough. Oh, I guess I just barely had enough. As if that wasn't even his final form. Like, as if he wasn't busted enough already. He won't even let me have the satisfaction of doing that. Yeah, I want there to be a card in this game that's actually like that, like Frieza, where it has like 5 transformations like that. They keep gradually getting stronger, so every turn you can keep doing that. Like, literally, this isn't even its final form, haha. So now we just have to play black spells. The end. What is that? I'm sure I've seen it before, but I can't remember what it is. There are a few cards in this game that say that, like you just auto win if such and such happens. Cost 2 less to cast if your life's total is 5 or less. Exile target creature, planeswalker, search its control, graveyard, hand, library, cards the same name as. That's how I would read like Yu-Gi-Oh card text. He's just so verbose. That one's not even too bad, but let's try. I guess we did everything though. Let's give the other deck a chance then, or whatever. We did enough. I just try to spam out the fucking black stuff for a daily quest, which feels kind of like cheese, but I mean whatever. As long as we still play to win. I always like to do a little setup format, like if you just play a certain decks until you lose, and you see which one comes out on top and all that kind of thing. I came up with a cool idea one of the last times, like once I have a complete collection, my final episodes for the series could be like my whole collection is permanent. So every time I play a minion and they die, then I can't play that minion ever again. I have to get to Mythic or whatever that month by doing it that way. I'd have to keep changing my deck or something like that. So every minion in your collection has 1 life and 1 life only. You could still put multiple of them in a deck. You'd have to. It could be like the Raphael build, where he refuses to lose any of his guardian minions, and those are the only ones he has. You know, he treats them like his family. So his whole style of play is predicated on protecting them and bringing them back and stuff like that. So he just doesn't let his minions ever die. And I do like the whole Turgid Lantern thing. Anything that sort of cucks or punishes their ability to actually play stuff is something I like. When an eccentric farmer enters the battlefield with military cards, then you may... He's a little more than eccentric, dude. Okay, we got the flying, which is a nasty combination with the toxic. You might just not be able to do anything about it. But you know what you got to do is give that invisible stalker dude a... give the invisible stalker dude toxic, and then he'd be really something. This guy does have death touch, so I guess it's worth it to do that. The lantern is good, and then we can just do, unless they sacrifice, discard a card. That's good. We got the toxic counter still going. You would think I should like the toxic mechanic a little more, but it's too insular to itself. Like, or there should be more mechanics like that. That's the only counter sort of thing we typically see. There's like oil counters and stuff like that, but yeah, you would think I should like black a little more. I've just never given it a chance. I guess when I first started playing, I was even saying like, you know, I'll play green in constructed because I like it so much, and then I'll try to make a point to play black in drafts because I, you know, that would be like my backup. And then, well, now we have like a few too many of these fucking things. So the menacing would be cute. This is unfortunate though. Flying death touch when it dies. Choose one. Search your library up to 3 land cards. Reveal them. Create an X token where X is the number of lands you control. I don't really want to do anything with that guy, but I also won't be able to stop him from doing this. 4/4 Vigilance Haste. As long as it's on the battlefield, it's in land in addition to its other types. Add 1 mana of any color. But if that's all it means to be a land, is to add 1 mana of any color, then it would be, you know, like the carrot is not a land, so does that mean that's like a separate effect? You can add 1 mana. I don't know. Why would it matter then whether you consider it a land or not? Like, the point is you would have to tap it for that purpose anyway. I mean, I guess I won't do it, but exile trade transform without paying its cost. But yeah, if you have mana to sink into it, you could untap it and then just do it again, but that is very expensive. There's nothing else for me to even do. This can get out of hand, but I'm normally not so mana rich. So both of these should work because you can't block either one, and so that is beautiful. Although I'm not super confident about... Wait, what? Oh, really, dude? Really? Alright, so that was a mistake. I'm not gonna win because of the poison counters though at this rate. I highly doubt it. And even killing this guy would be suicide because of the number of lands that he has. So I'm probably gonna lose this one, but I don't know if I even deserve to beat that last guy because he was using a pretty good deck and he was up 1-0, but somehow he just got lag switched out. This should almost follow the rule of the legendaries where you can't have two of the same one out there at once. It just feels kind of weird. Corey's getting invaded from both sides, if you know what I mean. And not dick all I can do about it either. Unless I get the rush guy with the toxic, but no, I don't even have him because he's green or haste. I like in Hearthstone how they did that. They realized that charge was such a busted mechanic that they just said, fuck it. Let's, they just said, fuck it. Let's try to turn it into rush instead. So the only difference is that charge can hit face and rush can hit only minions. So they force you to play on the board a little more. The lantern still got pretty good value here. It's just like, I guess I underestimated the whole untap aspect here of like how much you could really abuse that as the game goes on, but it's just too late. You got reach and everything. I'm obviously gonna lose. In worst case, they could just sack all their fucking minions, so they would never lose. Tapping at the window. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Zilortha, Apex of Ikoria, and of course Apex is like always what dinosaurs are actually called by paleontologists or whatever. Like a apex predator was the T-Rex, meaning just whatever, top of the food chain. It's a very unique and seldom used term, but very fitting for dinosaurs. I don't know, I guess you could do a best of 3 with that. Just we're just doing it to do the daily quest. I won't even pretend like it was anything part of the format, but we at least did those 2 green decks next to each other. Rainbow shenanigans. And it worked out pretty well though, regardless, win or lose. We were able to play basically whatever I wanted because you just have to get the mana generating minions. So even though I only have like only green land in there, it still works because I have so many mana generating minions, the Keratids, the Taxidermist, the other chick, the 1 mana dinosaur generator minion chick. This thing, I don't even know why it's really in there, but whatever. Yeah, I like how wildly disparate these matchups can be in the context of a best of 3 thing. Wait, is this even a best of 3 now? I forgot. I think it is. Or no, it is obviously with that. I'm tired. But no, it's like, you know, you're playing a gold or you're playing like an emerald, even though I'm only silver. That normally doesn't happen in the best of 1 format. It's like they know it's not as popular to play it, so therefore they accept the fact that you're not going to find a match as easily, so they just match you up against anybody they can find. Okay, I wouldn't mind actually winning because of the toxic mechanic here, but sacrifice another creature. Wait, why you start out? Oh yeah, enter the battlefield tapped. It almost doesn't even matter because I wouldn't have been able to attack anyway. Fuck. Toxic 1, when it dies, create a 1/1 artifact. The toxic 1 can't be blocked. Actually, we'd rather do this because And I guess I put that in there because it mentions dinosaur, but it doesn't actually have anything beneficial to me for it. But then again, whatever, since it is an expansion about dinosaurs, you're probably going to encounter certain things with it. Problem with this deck is you're not going to have any of those beautiful mana generating minions either. You're just going to kind of be in a spot where you have to, you know, deal with what you got. It would be nice if some of these toxic ones could actually get off, but he's just not letting me do it. As far as I know, there's nothing that really removes the toxic counters either. Although there must be certain things that just affect the counters in general, so there might be some that bring them down. But I've only ever seen really cards that mention increasing them, like you lose 2 life. Now what's interesting about the Toxic Abomination is he doesn't actually seem to have toxic on him. How strange. It's a 2-mana 3/2, or like the only reason why he's in there probably is because he mentions toxic, but yet he's not even toxic. He's completely top decked out though here. So whatever, we're in a good spot. It's just a question of whatever he draws into. And it doesn't mean that he couldn't win the next 2 in a row, but for now we should be good. 5, we'll do that. Beginning of upkeep, discard a card, small price to pay. This is a bit of a self-troll. It's anything but toxic, dude, and I would know all about being toxic. Ossification. When it enters the battlefield, exile a creature planeswalker. So you can actually play that normally. When it enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+0. Okay, that's fine. Indestructible. All this fucking healing he's doing is actually equalizing itself out. Man, he has so much fucking removal, man. Imagine using a removal on a card game. Just play like a fucking man and fight on the board like I do all the time. Even though this game isn't designed to be done like that because everything's about blocking. You can't even choose to attack stuff on the board even if you want to. Like the 3 different paradigms of how a card game can work that way. Like whether you, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! You can only attack the minions. You can never attack face unless there's no minions there. So every minion has taunt there. So if you like the battles on the board more, you'd like Yu-Gi-Oh! More. Then in the middle you have Hearthstone that lets you either attack face or the minions. You can choose unless something specifically has a taunt. But the majority of things you can choose whether to go face or not. Although normally you're gonna always trade in anyway, but that's an interesting dynamic. And then this plus the lantern is really what the fun is all about. You have that, and then you have the ability to basically have a game like this where you can't attack the face, or no, you can't attack the minions at all. You can only attack the face, so it's sort of antithetical to Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can only attack the minions and not the face. So this is like a hunter's wet dream from Hearthstone, just face is the place. But it's also like a control deck's dream come true because you get, you know, these high health minions that just auto heal at the end of every turn. You should have something good going on with that. Pays 5 life unless they discard a card. So, I mean, that in itself is going to be sufficient. Of course, he's going to top deck whatever. You know what would be cool is if the Toxic got applied even with an effect like that. Like, it doesn't actually have to do damage. It can just kind of, you know, whatever. Yeah, I see that this is why it's at least fair, though. Maybe he just had a bad matchup, just like I can sometimes have that happen, like where I, you know, where I have to mulligan like 4 times in a row just because I'm not getting land or something, which any good deck would never allow such a scenario to happen in the first place. You would always have some sort of card draw or cycling or bullshit, even if it's like a 200 card deck, like what some of these people are actually using. I mean, certainly the daily quest should be done by now, though, anyway. This guy seems like he's always online. But yeah, I'm sure the Magic community has like mixed feelings on this game because it's so good to at least present the game, but it maybe is lacking at the higher level of like, my biggest thing would be like it should just have every card in the history of the game physically, and I don't feel like that would have been that hard to do. Or you know, you could literally, oh, I was just talking about that too. You could literally just do it in such a way that every month you could release like a new expansion's worth of cards, right? And you would always have something to do because it's got like 70,000 plus cards apparently, compared to this game only having like 10k. You could just do that as like a bonus thing. Or you know what I said with Hearthstone is that they should have almost just released the Warcraft TCG inside of it, even as like a separate mode or something. In a manner of speaking, you could say they've already done that because they probably stole a lot of card ideas and took inspiration from stuff over time that way, but still. That touch whenever it attacks you may sacrifice a creature. Additional cost, pay 4. Let's try to actually win with the toxic counters if nothing else. This is kind of cute. I'm a bigger fan of the flying ones though, because sometimes people just can't deal with that. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named for any inventory in your graveyard. Okay, hurry up, bro. You're gonna lose. You have 3. Discard a card. Your target creature planeswalker. There's no point in even doing it. I don't know why that's even good. There's so much fucking removal shit, dude. No. And we're getting that Turgid's Lantern out, plus that other thing that we just had last game that I always forget the name of, but that has a really cool picture. Like the 5 cost that deals 5 damage if they don't discard a card or sacrifice something or whatever. That can be really good. Guy just has so much fucking removal every time. Like this whole tapping thing doesn't matter because it wouldn't have been able to attack anyway, so I don't get what the thing is. Like why that's so good. It counters haste, it counters abilities, it maybe opens you up to being vulnerable to certain cards that mention tapped minions, like destroy a tapped creature, not just any creature. You have a decent thing going here. Okay, we win. I'm sure the daily quest is done. But I don't like how you keep cheating my format to actually do it. But it's very important for me to actually do the daily quest, either just for the sake of gold and because I only play once a week. You can obviously benefit from the fact that, you know, you're only doing 3 daily quests a week at most, but at least you have to do that much. Or it's the fact that you want to get to rank 35 in the fucking thing just to get the sexy dinosaur guy as an avatar, which I don't think I will within the next 4 weeks, but we'll see. Okay, see you tomorrow. We have almost 15k gold too. Nice.